Hey, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. So a few days ago I had an amazing conversation with a friend of mine who lives very far away from me. So we talked over Zoom and talked for a couple of hours. We had a great conversation, got into very different topics, and one of them was AI. So that's what you saw in the title there. I wanted to talk a little bit about artificial intelligence, because I think this is something that's kind of like a hot topic, you know. A lot of people talk about it because I think it's because Tesla recently, I don't know if they released it or announced it, but this kind of like robot, this Optimus robot, that first of all looked very similar to the one they used in iRobot, the movie in 2004 there with Will Smith. It's very similar. So, but I want to touch a little bit about this topic because I think it's such a, I think this is something that splits a lot of people, like into two groups, you can say, maybe three groups, but the positive ones and the negative ones. Because a lot of times when I talk to people around here, they are very, you can feel it, clearly see that they get very uncomfortable when you talk about these things. And then when you talk about what is actually happening now, right in front of their eyes, what they are actually doing, these machines or these robots. And you have ChatGPT and all this stuff, you know, that is out there. But I think you can clearly feel that people get scared, they get afraid and terrified. And sure, I get it. Of course you get uncomfortable because it's something new. It's something that we've never seen before. So, I mean, if you haven't really paid that much attention the last maybe 20 years on technology, of course you're going to be very surprised and maybe horrified because of what's going on. When you see this stuff, when you see a robot that's talking like a human, and it's almost like they have a consciousness, you know. I think it's kind of crazy as well how far we have come, you know, when we talk about these things. Then of course we can look at in the back in the day in the history, like with the amazing architecture there, with the beautiful buildings and stuff, that they're more advanced when it comes to that part. But if we look at it's a different technology now we have, for sure. I mean, we have never seen this before. So so we were starting to talk a little bit about this, and I think she had a very interesting angle on this, and I think that's why I want to talk a little bit about this, because it's so easy in this world that we always get caught up with negativity. We get caught up with the things that sell, you know, things that make numbers. Because what do you think all newspapers and media always start up with, like death and war and misery and suffering, you know, because that's what people put attention to. It sells. Because it creates a feeling, it creates emotions. So always when we do things, always when we view things, we always have two choices there. We can either choose to view it with a positive attitude or a negative one. Since most people in this world are vibrating on a very low level on the vibrational scale, they're vibrating on a very low level of energy, they are automatically going to perceive things with a negative attitude. They're going to perceive things in a way that's going to be dangerous. It's going to be very bad for us, you know. Then there are a few people who have taken a few steps up, and they choose to see things from a different way. They choose to see things for what it can do to us, what it can make us, instead of what it will basically take away from us, you know. So when I see these things now, that's what we talked about, that this is going to create such an amazing time, because we're going to be able to focus more on ourselves now, to really start to ask bigger questions, more deep questions. What are we really? What are we doing here? What is this reality, first of all? Is this real, or maybe this is just a dream, or those kind of questions, you know? Because I feel like there's so many people that are missing out on life, you know? Because we live in fear. We either live in the future for what's gonna happen, like with AI, we're scared of that, or we're living in regret of the past for the things we've done, or maybe things we haven't done. And we're forgetting about this current moment that actually takes place now. So I think with AI, we're gonna have get a lot more time and energy available to actually focus on these things, to be able to be more present. Because a lot of the old jobs, they're gonna disappear like they did before, back in the day. There's gonna be new inventions, then they're gonna drop out new things for us to enjoy and experience. And it's going with a rapid pace now, and we can't do anything about it. So one thing for sure is that this is something that we just have to let go of. This is something that we need to understand. It's gonna happen. We can't do anything about it. Doesn't matter what you want, what you think of this, or you are scared or afraid, this is something that's going to happen. And this is something that we need. Our consciousness need to go through this. It needs to happen. And it's going to happen. So you might as well just accept reality and leave it for what it is. So I think it's always come down to that. Like the things we cannot control, we just have to let go of it. Because it doesn't serve us. I mean, who does it serve to walk around and being like anxious, scared about these things? And maybe you go in on Instagram or TikTok and something, you see a video where they're like scaring up people because they have created this cool like edited video where they're like showing what AI is gonna, how it's gonna destroy us, you know. Only God knows what's gonna happen. But anyhow, the message for the video, that like the topic that I want to talk about, is that this is gonna force people to look inwards. It's gonna force them to ask them the uncomfortable questions that they so badly want to ignore. Because these times ahead, it's gonna be very interesting that way. Because the people who haven't woken up yet, who definitely probably not will do it in the next 50 years, they will at least be able to consider their own situation and their own reality. Because I mean, these kind of situations we have been through before. Like a lot of the jobs before, back in the day, are gone. You can take like the people who were walking like with the ice blocks when they didn't have the refrigerators and stuff and freezers. People actually walked. That was a job. They walked with those, and they kept things cool. And those jobs removed, got replaced with another. And I mean, there's so many things. People who used to work with, let's say, parking spaces where they like took in the tickets and stuff, those jobs are gone because that's replaced with machines now. And soon people in the stores will be replaced by, like Amazon stores. You just go in and shop and you get the receipt on your email. So we're gonna see so many different scenarios. But this time is gonna force people to ask questions for themselves. Because this is inevitable. So this is going to be a crazy good opportunity for a lot of people to, when they're going to have a lot more time available, a lot more time over, which is going to make them start to ask these questions. So it's always like this. How do you view these scenarios? How do you approach this time ahead now? Because I think, to be honest, like when me and my friend, we spoke about this, it's like, it's going to be amazing times ahead. For some people it's going to be amazing. For some people it's going to be probably a nightmare because they don't want to accept it, they don't want to deal with it. But that's where we have the choice. We can either choose to embrace this new technology, we can embrace these new opportunities that are going to arise in our lives. And it's going to open up so many new doors, and I think it's going to be really interesting. Because it's neither good or bad. It's like just neutral, like a knife. You can use a knife for a bad purpose to kill someone, or you can use it in a good purpose to chop up cucumber or something like that. You know, you can prepare food with it, or you can whatever you want to do. There's so many things we can use AI to our advantages. You know, so that's so interesting. Like when you talk to people, that so many people are negative about this, but then you have a small group of people who can see the good things about this. That we are going to be having time over for more important things. Because how many people are actually living their life, first of all? Like how many people do you really think are actually experiencing day by day as it's supposed to be, with our senses to really take in the experiences that we are taking in, that we're doing? Because I think that most people, because this is what I did before, I did every experience through my mind because I wasn't even aware what I was doing. Maybe a few occasions where I maybe was playing tennis, badminton, or was doing my sessions in the gym. That's maybe the times that I was in the like flow state, you know, like I was just doing that thing, and it felt amazing. That's why we always want to go back to that place, because I think everyone has experienced that's like that feeling sometimes, that you have this, you're in this zone, you can say, like the same athletes say, like when you're doing sports or like in the flow state, like you just, whatever you're doing, you're playing tennis, you're doing football, you're doing ice hockey or whatever, basketball, you're in the state where you just, the mind is completely gone, you're just doing the thing, and you're so good at it because everything clicks. just throwing in the ball, just smashing the ball, whatever you're doing. And that's the state we want to get back to, because that's the present moment. So I think AI will help us immensely to get back to the true nature of ourselves. So I think this is gonna do. Yeah, it's an interesting time for sure. It's I think we're gonna see so many cool stuff gonna be revealed to us moving on now in the couple of decades. So it's a nice time to be alive for sure. But I think every time is nice to be alive, because the things that happened before has always been very revolutionary. Just remember when the TV came out, or the first car, maybe the smartphone. That was revolutionary. So I think this is going to be very interesting for sure. I appreciate very much if you'd like to leave a comment and share your opinion about this. What do you think about this? Do you view it with a negative approach or a positive, or do you like a little in between? Maybe you have a different angle, or maybe you're more realistic. You see that there are some dangers with this. Of course there can be as well. I mean, there's always a choice. You can choose to do good things with this technology, or you can do bad things. So it's like with everything, you know. I mean, it's like with the smartphone. How many people are not like so addicted to this phone that they can even like basically go through the day without it? They can't like basically live without it. So you can get addicted to so many things and get drawn into it that it takes over your life. But you can view it and you can use it for the right purpose, because we can, let's face it, we can contact people all around the world, and we can have conversations with everyone. We create communities, we can create groups, we can create programs and courses, whatever, you know. We can do so many things with this technology. So it's always how we choose to view it, and how we choose it to be a reality. So that's it for today. Talk soon. Take care now. Bye.